Alright, so this is going to be a really quick guide on how to use search strings to search for perfect Eevees. So you might have seen some kind of chart like this, floating around Discord, Reddit, whatever you use, maybe Facebook. And this is basically a chart that gives you an idea of, hey, if you see an Eevee of the CP, there's a chance, not a very good chance, but there's a chance that it can be, a perfect Eevee. Perfect, of course, being that its IVs are all maxed. And so usually the strategy for something like this, if you're going to use a chart like this, is to have this chart handy when you're actually catching the EVs. And every time you find an EV, you check to see if the CP is on the table. If it's on the table, then you mark it with a star, or you rename it, or whatever you do, and you go ahead and appraise them to see if they're perfect or not. And this works pretty well. I mean, it's kind of slow, it's kind of a pain to have a chart with you at all times when you're catching EV, but this works. With that said, there's a better way, so this is going to be a video to show you guys that. Alright, so hopefully if you've played Pokemon Go, you should be familiar with this screen. This is your Pokemon screen. You tap the search button on the top right, and then you can search for Pokemon. Pretty straightforward. So, for example, if I search for Sunkern, like right here, it'll give me a list of all the Sunkern I currently have. And I can also do something like searching for grass-type Pokemon. So typing grass gives me a list of all the grass Pokemon that I have. But unfortunately, there is no search filter for perfect Pokemon. It'd be cool if they had it, but that's not the case, so we have to do things a little differently. We have to combine some search conditions instead of just using one. So, I'm going to list them all here real quick. The first one is by just typing in a number, you can search for Pokemon of that number. So your Eevee is number 133 in the Pokedex. That means when we type in 133, we're going to get the Pokemon Eevee. We can also search for Pokemon with a specific CP. So for example, in here I've typed in CP33. Turns out I have two Pokemon, a Setrat and a Lapras, that both have this CP. And you can also search for HP in a very similar way. Just type in HP 34, turns out my Raticate and Bulbasaur both have 34 HP. And this is pretty cool and all, but it's not really useful enough for us for Eevee today. So we're going to have to figure out some way to combine these different search criteria. It's actually really simple. Just use a comma to use a logical OR, and use the ampersand or an AND for a logical AND. Don't worry too much if that stuff is kind of going over your head. I'll kind of talk in detail about how exactly to do this, but I'm just kind of explaining it for people who are interested. Alright, cool. So we're on Reddit now, and we're looking at a bunch of letters, numbers, commas, and ampersands, and if you look closely, it's basically the same thing as what I was just talking about, but, just all added together in a really long search string. I'm going to talk about what each of these things means real quick, just so you guys have some basic idea. The first 133 means, we're searching for Eevee. It's number 133 in the Pokedex. And we're going to AND that with all the CPs that we just saw in that previous list from before. These are the CPs of Eevees that can be perfect. And we're going to AND all that stuff together with the HP values of those perfect Eevees. So, this way, it's basically like we're filtering, right? We have a really, really long search filter that'll help us look for Eevees that might be perfect. So the basic idea is if you type in all of these letters, numbers, commas, and ampersands inside your search bar in your Pokemon box, that should basically give you the exact same list of Eevees that you would normally get by, individually checking each Eevee you encounter by that CP chart. Which is, well and good, but you might be thinking, yeah, there's no way I'm going to type all that into my search box every time I want to filter for perfect Eevees. And, that's true, I can understand. There is a better way to do that rather than just typing it in, although if that's what you want to do, you do you. What you can do is you can, tap on copy, which I already have up here, copy that to your phone's clipboard, and then you can use your phone's text replacement tool to basically let your phone do all the typing for you. Of course, I have an iPhone, so I'm going to show you guys how to do this on the iPhone, but for Android, I would imagine it's a very similar process. Just go in your settings somewhere and find the correct setting. But yeah, instead of just me talking about it, here's how that would look like. So open your settings, swipe down, just show the search bar, and search for keyboard. This is what you're going to get. And then tap on keyboard general, which is the second one, and you're going to see something like this. Inside this one, tap on text replacement, And here you'll see a list of all your text replacements. So go ahead and tap on the plus at the top right corner. That'll take you to this page, which lets you create a new one. So all you have to do is paste your search string that you copied before inside this first field, and then type in some kind of shortcut key into the second field. And after you tap save at the top right, you should be directed back to your list of text replacements. And assuming that you followed all the instructions properly, which you probably did, you should see your new text replacement there inside that list. Alright, so now we're back in Pokemon Go. We got that thing set up, and how this works is instead of typing in all those letters, numbers, commas, and ampersands, we just type in whatever shortcut key you decided on. In this case, I have 5 E's here, and then I press space, and our search string gets automatically substituted by our phone. Okay, so, that's kind of how it works. If I had any perfect Eevees, I'm sure they would show up here. Unfortunately, I don't. I have evolved quite a few. But yeah, hopefully I get some this weekend. Hopefully you guys get some this weekend, and hopefully you guys found this useful or helpful, at least in some way. So, thanks for watching, and yeah, that's all I got.